Night, CSEC scholars. Welcome to another live CSEC class. This evening, we are going to be looking at volume. So this is our formula class. It's Thursday evening, and we look at formulas that are used in CSEC math, sometimes how to derive them, and why we use them, when do we use them. So the formula that we're looking at tonight is the volume of a cube or a cuboid. Before we go into that, here's the schedule of our live classes. Write down the dates, the times, and what sessions are done. Hello CSEC math students, I know you are busy preparing for your math tests and your CSEC exams coming up. I have a very important question to ask you. Do you like my new hat? Thank you. Now another important question. Have you ever gotten a math problem wrong simply because of making one little mistake? I'm sure you have, as thousands of other students have. Now in this series, we're going to be looking at the common mistakes that students make with all the topics in CSEC math. We're going to look at the common errors, demystify everything. Make sure you watch every video in this series so that you can avoid making those mistakes. So stay tuned. Hello scholars. Did you know that most times when students get problems wrong in mathematics is as a result of one single error or one mistake? Well, this is absolutely true, and we're going to be looking at the common errors that students make in the different topics in mathematics. If we know the errors beforehand, we can certainly avoid making them. Are you ready? Come on, take my hand. All right, guys. So let me invite my scholars. So far, we have Imani and we have John. Welcome, guys. All right. So let me also share my screen. So we're looking at the volume of a cube and the volume of a cuboid. So we first need to identify what is a cube and a cuboid. So a cube, simply put, we can say it's a square box. And so we start with a square, same size all around, square box. So the length, width, and height are the same. So if that's x, that's x, that's x. So the volume of the cube is length times length times length. Since the length is the width is the height, they're the same, right? It's still length times width times height, but because the width and the height and the length are the same, we can just say length times length times length, or length cubed, or side cubed. For the cuboid, we could say it's a rectangular box. Okay. I don't know why my mouse not writing properly tonight. Oh Lord. Rectangular box. So the length and the width and the height are usually different. So it's a rectangular box. Usually different. Two of them can be the same. So the height and the width can be the same and the length different or whatever, but they're usually different. So if that is x, that is y, that's z, right? Length, width, and height. But the formula is basically the same. Length times width times height. So the concept, you know, the base would be rectangular, right? And the base of the cube is square. It's a square base. The idea behind the volume, the basic idea behind volume is it's the area of the base, whatever the base is. And if the all right, so general idea, the area of the base times the height, generally speaking, right? Especially so for prisms where the top has a similar shape as the base. So the cube is a square prism and the cuboid is a rectangular prism. So the general idea is we find the area of the base and we multiply it by the height. So if it's a square base, we know the area of the base is going to be the side square. And a rectangular base, the area of the base is length times width. Welcome, Asar. So what we're going to be doing this evening is pretty simple, pretty simple. We're just going to be finding the volume of some cubes and cuboids, and then we're going to see if we're given the volume, can we find the length or can we find the width or the height, whatever. If we're given the volume and one of the other sides, right, can we find the other one? So all right, so let's look at some of those then. So we're going to start with the cube, which is this square box. All right, so Asar, we have a cube. Oh Lord. I'm gonna stop drawing them and just tell you that that is not, there's no way that's gonna pass for a cube. So I'm just gonna tell you it's a cube, okay? It's a cube.
Is there no line tool?
Huh?
Is there no more line tool?
Line two? What do you mean?
Line tool like you can use to draw.
Oh, tool, line two. I'm almost certain there is, but you know me when it comes to tech. I'm gonna figure it out in time how to get those tools to draw straight lines and all those nice stuff. So for the time being, I'm just gonna tell you it's a cube. And the length of the side of the cube is 4 centimeters. So what is the volume of the cube?
So the volume would be 4 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 4.
Right, so I'm
That would be
saying,
64.
okay, so it's a cube and one side is 4. So if one side is 4, it means this side is 4 and that side is also 4. So 4 times 4 times 4, and that gives,
64 centimeters cube.
right, and that's the thing with volume. The unit for volume is cubic units. So centimeter cube, meter cube, kilometers cube, cubic feet, cubic inch. And why is it cube? Because we're multiplying 4 centimeters by 4 centimeters by 4 centimeters. So it's centimeter times centimeter times centimeter. That's centimeters cubed. And 4 is 16, 4 is 64. All right, Imani. So we have another cube and the length is 20 meters. That's the length.
Okay,
It's a
miss.
cube. So what's the volume?
So since the base, the length, and the height are all the same measurement, to get the volume, it would be side times side, which is the length times the base times the height. So it would be 20 times 20 times 20, or 20 cubed.
All right, so 20 meters times 20 meters times 20 meters. And that gives
8,000 meters cubed.
8,000 meters cubed. All right, pretty simple and straightforward.
Yes, miss.
All right, John.
Okay.
So I have another cube, and the width is 15 meters. What is the volume?
Uh, um, Miss, can you please draw the Mr. Cube?
John, why you want to put me through all that trouble and you know I can't draw cubes on this thing?
Miss, not to
So
worry,
that's
Miss.
so that's the cube. And please understand that it's a perfect cube.
Yes.
And the width is 15 meters. So what is the volume?
Oh, Miss, and it's a cube.
It's a cube. Cube.
Okay. That's right. So, Miss, the sides are all equal.
Uh-huh.
So, Miss, it be 15 times 15 times 15.
All right, so the volume would be 15 meters times 15 meters
Times 15 meters.
times
15.
15 meters. And how much is that?
Miss, 3,375.
3,275
375.
units.
Miss, meters squared.
Meters
Cube.
what?
Miss cube. Meters cube.
Meters cubed. All right. So that's the cube. All right, so Asar, now we're going to the cuboid. So the cuboid is a rectangular box. Okay, it's rectangular. And the length is 7 meters. The width is 3 meters. And the height is 2 meters. So I want the volume. Oh, what did I do? Asar, are you there? Oh, you're not answering. Asar
Oh,
got kicked off.
no, I'm here.
Oh, I think you go sleep or I get kicked off. So that's the height, 2 meters. What's the volume?
The volume would be 3 times 21 times 2.
3 times 21. The length is 7, the
7
width
times,
is 3,
so
the
21
height
times
is 2.
2.
So 3, so the width times the length times the height. And that gives what?
And that gives 42
42 watts.
meters cubed.
Okay, so 42 meters cubed. All right, so that's the volume. Imani,
Yes, Miss?
so I have this other cube, Boyd. If you ever laugh, are you laughing?
No, Miss.
Oh, okay. So that's a cuboid, and so the width is 9 centimeters, The height is 5 centimeters. And the length is 14 centimeters. So what's the volume?
So, Miss, the volume would be the width times the length times the height. So it would be 14 times 5 times 9. And all of that
So
multiplied would
14 times 5 times 9. And that gives what?
Miss, that gives 630 centimeters cubed.
630 centimeters cubed. Okay. So what we mean when we're talking about the volume of the thing? So we mean that the volume is how much, another name for volume is capacity. How much the thing can hold all the way inside the thing. The whole space on the inside. That's what we mean by the volume. So area is just the plain part of it, the flat part of it, just the space along that flat side, whichever side you're talking about. Because you can have the surface area or just the area of the base or whatever. So area just mean how much space on the flat surface of the thing. But the volume now, otherwise called capacity, is it tells you how much substance you can fill into every space of that thing. So the volume of the box is how much material can hold inside the box from bottom come straight up to the brim. All right, so John, I have a cuboid
Because I keep
and it's a cuboid. The length is 8 millimeters and the height is 4 millimeters
I'm going to put someone
and
else.
the width is 6 millimeters.
6. Unless it's 6 times 8 times 4.
So the volume is
Okay.
so volume is
It's
6
times 8
times
times
8
times
times 4. And how much is that?
It's that's 192 millimeters cubed.
192.
Yes, Miss.
All right, so 192
Millimeters squared.
millimeters cubed.
Oh, yes, yes, sorry.
All right, so let me make a quick look at the chat. If anything going on. Welcome Ngozi, welcome Jamani, welcome Zion. Yeah, so we're just doing some easy peasy stuff tonight. The class won't be long because there's no need to make this more complicated than it is. So all we're going to do right now is I'm going to tell you the volume. I'm going to tell you what kind of figure we're dealing with, and you're going to tell me the length or the width or the height, whichever one I ask you for, right? And then we're gonna wrap up the class because it's very, very simple, right? Very, very simple. So we're not going to pretend that it's any more complicated than it is. All right, so we're back to Asar. So Asar, I have a cube. It's a cube. And the volume The volume is 125 centimeters cubed. I want you to tell me the length of the side.
So that would be the cube root of 125.
So you're saying the length would be the cube root, not the square root, the cube root of 125. So you're trying to find which number times itself would give 125. And that number is what?
That number is 5.
5. So if you know the volume of a cube and you want to know the length of the side, which if you want to call it the width, the length, the height, they're all the same because it's a cube. So you want to find out which number when you multiply it by itself 3 times. So basically then you're going to be finding the cube root of the volume, and that will give you the length of the side. All right, so thank you, Asar. Imani, I
Man,
have this time. Hmm? I have a cuboid this time, Imani, not a cube, a cuboid, right?
yes,
I have
miss.
a cuboid, okay, and the volume is 200 centimeters cubed. The width is 5 centimeters and the height is 4 centimeters. So, what is the length?
Okay, miss. So to find the length, they're going to. So we have to, since the volume is length times base time, well, base times length times height, we're going to
Mm-hmm.
have x
Mm-hmm.
times 5 times 4 equals 200,
Mm-hmm.
and 5 times 4 is 20, so that would be 20x equals 200. And then we would divide both sides by 20 to get x, and x would be 10 centimeters. So the length is 10
Okay.
centimeters.
Okay. So basically, so when we're multiplying the x times 5 times 4, what we're really doing is finding the area times x. You realize that, right?
Yes, miss.
Okay, because volume is area times height. So when we multiply any two of them, we're really finding the area of that side and then times the height. So to get the height, no. So x would be, sorry, to get the length, it would be the 200 centimeters cubed divided by the 20 centimeters square, because that's centimeter square. I should so x is what? 200 divided by 20 is, so the length is 10 centimeters. All right, and John, you're going to get your last one now.
Oh, wait,
And
it's already?
yeah, because that's
It's
all there
only
is.
such an easy topic.
Yeah, it's a very easy topic. So next week we're going to look at volume of some more complicated figures.
Just like the pentagon?
Maybe not the pentagon is not, pentagon doesn't have volume. Pentagon is a
Because it's a
polygon.
yeah,
It's
it's not
flat.
three dimensional. It's
Oh,
flat.
like,
To have volume, it has to have 3 dimensions,
just like the pyramid,
right?
just essence like the pyramid.
We're going to look at different prisms and also other 3 dimensional shapes. how to find the volume of them. So I have a cuboid, John.
A perfect keyboard, yes.
Hmm?
Nothing.
It's a cuboid. Don't you see it's a perfect cuboid?
It's cube.
Yes, it's a
It's a
perfect
perfect
keyboard.
cuboid.
Yeah. All right. So the the length is 30 meters and the width is 20 meters, right?
Yes, miss.
I want the height and the volume is 900 meters cubed.
And 100. Oh, okay, miss, this is kind of easy question, to be honest.
They're all easy though.
Yes. So we made it 20 times the 30. 600.
Uh, all right,
It's
so 20 times 30, you say? 20 times 30?
20 meters times 30 meters, miss. And that's 600 meters.
Hold on, 20 times 30. I can't get away with that one. I have to draw
No,
it
miss,
out.
you can't. You actually can't.
No, I can't get away with that one. I realize it. So this is, and these are centimeter
Yes, miss.
times centimeter. So
Meters
that's
times meters.
600 centimeters. Oh, meters, meters. It look like I need to go sleep, you know.
Miss,
Look like
I'm going to have my alarm ready, and if you don't come on later, I'm going to text you.
Thank you, darling. I appreciate that. I
Yes, miss.
appreciate that. All right, so this is 600 meters square.
Yes, miss. So
So what next?
miss the 900 over the 600 meters. The
So
900
the
meters squared, the cube, over the 600 meters.
900 meters cubed
Yes, miss, over 600 meters squared.
divided by the 600
Yes, miss. Miss,
meters
so
square.
2 from the 2, miss, the 2 from the 3, miss, that gives 1, so miss, it has to be meters now. Okay, and miss, they came out
Hold
the
on, hold on, hold on. Hold your horses. My mouse can't go fast enough because it have issues. All right, so x is equal to what?
Miss, x is equal to. Oh wait, miss, we can divide the 600 meters, miss, and the 900 by 300.
John, cancel the 2 0 then.
Miss,
6
miss,
into 9,
yes, miss, so miss, it's 3 over 2. It is,
which is
miss, that's 1.5. 1.5. It is.
okay, so 1.5 meters or 1.5 meters. Yeah, and that's all there is to it. Like I said, we're not going to pretend that it's any more difficult than it is, right?
Yes, miss.
This is as simple as it is, and we're going to leave it at that. Next week, we're going to look at some more complicated volumes,
It's like the pyramid and the
complicated shapes and figures. But we're not going to do them all at once. And we're also going to look at the volume of spherical objects as well. But we're going to do them in little groups, right? Not all at once.
yes, miss.
So
It's like the
next
sphere.
week and maybe the next 3 weeks or so we'll be looking at those.
3 weeks.
All right. So that's it. And I want to thank all those in the chat, Jamani, Zion, and Ngozi, Mr. K. Thank you, Mr. K. Mr. K says, great classes, Miss. Thank you so much. And we always welcome your participation and your company. And we want you to post your questions and your answers and your comments and your everything. So remember, tonight is Thursday night, so we have our midnight class for the CSEC multiple choice. So I'll see you at midnight.
You too, miss.
All right, guys.
Bye,
So
Miss. Bye, Manny. Bye, Joe.
bye. See you at
Bye,
midnight.
bye, bye,
Yes.
sir.
We sound like we sound like some vampires planning a meeting in the forest, in the clearing in the forest. See you at midnight. Here's the schedule of live classes for the PEP and CSEC. Hello CSEC math students, I know you are busy preparing for your math tests and your CSEC exams coming up. I have a very important question to ask you. Do you like my new hat? Thank you. Now another important question. Have you ever gotten a math problem wrong simply because of making one little mistake? I'm sure you have, as thousands of other students have. Now in this series we're going to be looking at the common mistakes that students make with all the topics in CSEC math. We're going to look at the common errors, demystify everything. Make sure you watch every video in this series so that you can avoid making those mistakes. So stay tuned. Hello scholars. Did you know that most times when students get problems wrong in mathematics is as a result of one single error or one mistake? Well, this is absolutely true, and we're going to be looking at the common errors that students make in the different topics in mathematics. If we know the errors beforehand, we can certainly avoid making them. Are you ready? Come on.